Yes. Can we start? Let me reintroduce Mwijuka Paul, who is going to present to us the topic of today, which is preparing for a new school term. As a professional, what do we require to do? Is going to take us through, and please, members, let's take this chance and participate actively into this session. I welcome you, sir.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ojara.
Good evening, sir.
And good evening, fellow scientists all over the country.
Yes, you have muted. Wamba Julius, unmute and continue.
Hello.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you.
All right. I was saying Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.
And thanking you for the work done so far in the year 2025. Especially today after receiving the PROE results.
Yes.
They have awakened us that really we are getting nearer to opening of the new term, 2025. And this brings us to really to the topic of today, preparing for the new term, professional practices for science teachers. My name is Mwijuka Paul. I'm a teacher of mathematics physics at Chamunga SS, Bushenyi district. And in UPSTU, I am the chairman, Bushenyi district, and the regional secretary, Ankole region. So all that I'm going to say this evening to you is based on the experience I've had as a DOS, I've had as a science teacher in Bushenyi district, and as a leader at the regional level, depending on the reports we have got, the reports we have always met in the field, and the conversations we have with some head teachers and some administrators of schools around. This is where I'm going to base my talk tonight. Yeah, as the topic goes, teachers preparing for a new term. This is the first term just after the enhancement of the deputies and the head teachers at the science section, which I can really say that it has also created a new environment that we are yet to find at our schools and at our workplaces. I was in a workshop yesterday and the other day, and really the environment is not sweet for us, the science teachers. And this is why we have to prepare enough, get ready, so that when we report for the new term, then really we survive in this kind of environment that is being created by the salary disparities. Two, I would first thank you, my fellow teachers, and congratulate you for the 4 years we have had the new curriculum. You know, we started when we didn't know what to do, but really I congratulate you that we have made it possible for our pioneers of the new curriculum. We have made them through it, and we are yet receiving the results, which I believe will be promising. This gives us also an opportunity to prepare better and to do better, because now really we have where we can refer, especially on how questions are set and how assessment is done. I may want to go direct to the topic, preparing for a new term, really, which needs proper planning and organization as a science teacher. To begin with, number one, getting organized for the new term. Yes, one, you know, as we had our holidays in December, we have had January, and really we are there down in our homes, in our places of residence, doing a lot of work with us. And really, this tells you that we need to really go through the work we are doing at homes, the businesses we're engaged in, the engagements we have. This is the time to wind up. This is the time to really go through them. We conclude them so that when we report for the new term, then we are not followed up by these engagements, so that we do our work well and without interruptions. So I call upon you, fellow teachers, to really finish up the whole day domestic work, the domestic engagements, as we end the holidays. Number two, under getting organized, fellow teachers, I have to encourage you to plan and prepare, yes, to see how we accomplish the home responsibilities that we need to have done by the time we report. And majorly here is, you know, we have children, we have to pay school fees for them. We have, as you know, due to economic challenges, we have debts around us. So I call upon you teachers really to really sort down school fees, you sort down some debts, so that after reporting for the new term, then these stresses and these responsibilities do not affect our work, or our people at home are not affected by our reporting for duty. I will also call upon you, my fellow teachers, to prepare so that we report for work for the new term in time. And for this, I want to emphasize, as the teachers attending the activity that starts the term all over, I believe most of our schools, we always begin with staff meetings. And this is the activity really where most policies, most strategies are communicated. So I call upon you to report in time, to attend the beginning of term staff meeting, so that we are not left behind as we do our work. Another thing under getting organized is really, we must update ourselves with educational government policies which could have come around. That is to say, if there are some transfers, you have to update yourself whether you are transferred or you are going back to the old station. There could be some issues affecting or about the new curriculum, especially for the A level, senior 5 and senior 6, to mention but a few. So teachers, I call upon you not to sleep, call around, call here and there, to get updated of really what new policies could be or what the policies could be saying as far as our work is concerned. Yeah, as I leave that part of getting organized, really, you teachers, my fellow teachers, my colleagues, the science teachers, we have to plan and prepare to have a positive classroom stroke school environment. This is to say, as we report for the new term, you know, some of us, some of you will be assigned to teach new classes, maybe the classes you had not taught. You will be assigned maybe to teach the subject you have not been teaching. And really, this is a bit challenging. And this challenge needs you to prepare enough in case you are assigned such. So I call upon you to look around, to start checking whether you have updated subject notes, update yourself on the new curriculum teaching methods and approaches, especially for us or for you who could have not had a chance of teaching the new curriculum classes. For example, you could be teaching senior 5 and senior 6, and now the new year comes and you're assigned to teach senior 1 or senior 2, where the approaches and methods are far different. So I call upon you to really look through and try to remind ourselves about the new curriculum teaching methods and approaches so that we are not caught offside. To add on that, we must find and we have to prepare to find better or more even up-to-date learning activities than we had in the previous year. Really, if you have been a teacher 2024, we expect to see a better teacher and an improved teacher of 2025. And this is by really looking around how to improve on your teaching methods, on the learning activities, so that we applaud and we motivate the learners, and we look new and we look updated in our classrooms. Again, I call upon you to enrich yourselves on subject content. You know, learning is continuous. Keep learning, keep advancing, keep making research in your subject so that really when you are received by students in class, they see an advanced and a new and an informed teacher with a better content than ever. Yes, still around and about classroom, we have to find new skills and better skills of handling learners with different challenges. You know, we are yet to report, we are yet to meet learners with different challenges, with different backgrounds. We are yet to receive new learners from maybe joining schools from other schools. We are yet to receive learners with the economic challenge. We are yet to receive very many challenges that are always around these learners. And we must be there for them to really put them in order, to handle them carefully so that they find a better learning environment. About attitude, this is a point to emphasize again. And you know, some teachers, like we have seen, they just come to school just because they have to. Their attitude towards teaching for some teachers is becoming negative. So I call upon my fellow scientists, my fellow teachers, to really have a positive attitude towards your subject, towards your job, towards the school you are in, and towards all the classes that you'll be assigned to handle. You know, specifically when our salaries were being enhanced, I still remember the quote by the Minister of Finance, Mpanku we. Our salaries were enhanced so that the attitude towards teaching is really improved. We get time at school, at work. We handle our learners with a very positive attitude. We encourage them, we motivate them. But to my surprise, for some few teachers around, this has not been achieved. You'll meet a head teacher who is crying of science teachers. There is a common phrase now that we have run away from teaching after being enhanced. There is a common allegation that some of us are applying for early retirement. Some of us are running to private businesses and are leaving our job and our work to whom it may concern. I may say this is just for some few, which we must not take to affect all of us. Some of us and most of us teachers, we really love our job. We are not thinking about retiring, and our attitude towards teaching is really so good and so much improving. So I call upon all of us, the teachers, to have a positive attitude so that really our enhancement is not cast. Another section I want to talk about as we prepare for the new term is planning and preparing for lessons. This has been a challenge all over, and in courts where secondary teachers think are not supposed to make lesson plans, where secondary school teachers think making a scheme of work is harassment by administrators. But my colleagues, I must tell you that planning and preparing for a lesson is very important in our work. You will appreciate, especially when you sit and prepare for a lesson, you yourself, the teacher, you will see the lesson flowing properly. You will see your learners really properly following you, compared to when you come, just pick a piece of chalk, you run to class, you don't know where to start. You start asking the learners where you stopped. You start asking the learners what was the last topic. Really, the learners will see you not ready for the lesson. And even you yourself, you will feel what you are doing is not right. So I call upon you, my colleagues, the teachers, the science teachers, to sit down, make proper schemes of work and follow them, to sit down and make proper timetables and follow them the way they should. And especially you people who run from school to school, those who teach in multiple schools, you will find timetables disturbing you. You have a lesson stopping at 12. In 10 minutes, you have another lesson in some other school. You'll find getting confused. You find missing lessons in one school or the other because of not having a proper timetable. So I call upon you to sit down with your schools that you go to, make a proper timetable that you feel you will follow without meeting challenges. Otherwise, you will quarrel, you will conflict with school administrators, and this will be really a bad report about science teachers. So sit down, make proper timetable, and follow them. It has become a common practice by some teachers at the beginning of the term. It gets a timetable. In 2 weeks or 3, you'll find learners not being attended to, only to find out some lessons are not attended to unintentionally. And in the end, the learners will lose. And in the end, the syllabi will not be covered. And in the end, we shall make these learners fail. So let us swallow what we can and have proper timetables made and followed. Making lesson plans. And when I mention this, I imagine very many smiles are coming on your faces, because as we always think that lesson plans are for primary school teachers, we have to change our attitude towards that. Much as we may not have the way the primary teachers do them, but colleagues, I call upon you, before getting to a lesson, sit down and make a plan. Sit down and know this will follow this. I will start by doing this, and after this we shall do this. The learners will be engaged in doing this. Just have a simple write-up so that you don't go in lesson and you start touching here and there, getting confused and confusing the learners. So I call and I request you to take making of lesson plans, not be for primary teachers, but for a proper and a good teacher that is going to have a good lesson. Yes, and leaving the lesson plans aside, I want to talk about this that has become a vice to most of us that teach: punctuality, late coming. You will find for a specific teacher, week 1 to week 2 to week 3, missing minutes. The lesson starts at 8, but you'll meet the teacher 8:20, picking a piece of chalk, running for a lesson. And unfortunately, you go late for lessons, but you are punctual on leaving lessons, but you are not punctual on going for lessons. So my biggest request here is, let us respect time. Let us respect a minute. Let's really know that a minute is very important. What is covered in a minute, in 5 minutes, losing it may lead you to lose a bigger thing. So prepare your activities, wake up early, prepare early, travel early, so that you're always punctual for these lessons. Another thing, another point to talk about and to advise you about is explore for better and improved scenarios. You know, you see, I've based my conversation on the new curriculum because it's the biggest challenge we are facing as teachers. And you know, before you set exams, all of us were wondering how exams will appear, how they will be scored, how they will be assessed. But now, this time, we have a reference. We have questions that were set last year, 2024. For a serious science teacher, really, let's compile these papers, let's compile these questions, and in fact, starting with more questions, and then start from there, and then we have better scenarios for our learners, for our topics. because now we have where to refer to. Really, we have we have what to compare with. So go through the UNEB questions and make your own, improve, so that we appear organized and we appear relevant to the new curriculum. Yeah, for A-level teachers, you know, we still have challenges of poor performance in our subjects, our science subjects, and really it is becoming a reference by those who are against our enhancement. You'll find teachers saying now they enhance your salary, but you are still failing learners. I want to call upon you teachers really to see how best we can improve the performance in science subjects at both levels, O and A, so that we justify the effect of our salaries being enhanced. So go look for better methods, go look for better ways, go look for better time, so that we teach our learners and they pass. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go to another point of, as we report for the new term, we try to connect with our colleagues. We try to connect with our parents. You know, teaching is not a one man's game. We have to be a team. I call upon you to attend departmental meetings as we start the term. Sit down with your subject mates, with your co-teachers, share the load, and as we share this load, let us respect one another. Let us realize our strengths and weaknesses, so that you are given a subject where you know and you think you will excel. Be given a class where you really have enough experience. Otherwise, you go to a class and you'll not seem to be ready for that class. Like, for example, you are a physics math teacher, but you find you have spent times and years without teaching physics in some level. So now, when you sit in these departmental meetings, open up and say, really, I've spent long without teaching physics, but for math, I have no problem. So that we have that kind of tolerance. We know this one can handle this better than teacher X, so that we move smoothly as a department, we move smoothly as a team, and our learners benefit. Teachers, my fellow colleagues, you have, or you are requested to have time and connect to the parents of our learners. As they bring their children, their learners, for reporting for the new term, get some time. I mean, talk to a parent, especially about learners that we have some history about. If it is poor performance in some subject and you get a chance of meeting a parent to such a learner, sit down with the child, with the learner, with the parent, and discuss the best way forward. Discuss strategies on how that learner can improve and appreciate your attention. There are learners who are really disturbed by indiscipline, by this peer influence. When these parents come with their learners, sit and really guide the learner with the parent. Let the parent know about the child. let the parent tell you about how the learner behaves at home, so that we can have the best way of helping this learner, helping the parent, helping you as a teacher. Because when the learner becomes successful, then it is a score by the teacher, it is a score by the school where such learner went for studies. So get engaged with parents, and we have the best way forward about the children. Connect with colleagues for any other social, any kind of social engagement. Why, there is now this behavior of a section of teachers thinking that they are far different or they are far better than another section. I don't want to be misquoted. We have had some science teachers thinking that they are far advanced, they are in a certain class, social class, and this is really looked at by our colleagues, us, the humanities, as an inferiority. So always try to mix up with colleagues, regardless of what we earn, regardless of what they earn. And here we really join hands and pray that the government also thinks about them, because we are living in a bad environment where our friends are feeling bad about us. And really, we have to be careful on what we say in our staff rooms, on what we say amidst these people, because really they are not taking it well. Surely we have to be careful. We have to try to see how to connect with them. We have to show them that we are one. Yeah, members, it brings me to my last part, my last point to make of trying to be cooperative. And here I say this with a history. There is a school I went to, and I only found the head teacher crying, because there are some of us, the science teachers, who are uncooperative. You think what others do, then for it doesn't, you don't care about it. I met a teacher who had spent the whole term teaching, but had not signed anywhere in the arrival book. And to make matters worse, in our district, our new cow was requesting for monthly reports on attendance. So now the teacher was found to have never signed in the attendance book, but he was coming to the school, he was teaching. There are some teachers at the district who were really punished. Their salaries withheld just because they were not cooperative in signing in with the teller machine. So people, my fellow teachers, my colleagues, let's be cooperative. Let's move with others. Let's move with the policies. Let's avoid being disobedient, because when we do it, like they say, they will think we no longer respect them, especially our administrators, our colleagues, because of the salary disparities. So I call upon you to really always sign in the attendance book. If you are assigned some duty, Possibly take it up and do it. If you are made a hostel teacher, do the work. See how to balance the school work and your other private work. Understand the current environment that we live in, that we work in, that was created by salary disparities. If it is a teller machine, go to it. It takes a second or two. You sign in and come back and sign out. What's wrong with that? So that we avoid and we reduce this friction between science teachers and administrators. Ensure and make sure you always meet the deadlines set by your supervisors. If it is marking, see how best you can mark and really avail the marks when they are needed. If it is making schemes of work, if you are given a week, get a day, sit down, make lesson plan, schemes of work, forward them to where they're required, so that you are not taken to be disobedient. Do your work professionally, so that we are not taken for what we are not. Our members, this is what I had prepared to share with you, and thank you for listening. ProDev Secretariat, thank you for this opportunity. We shall always be there to share what we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul, for elaborate discussion on this matter. I hope there are people who would want to add more or even ask question. Yes. Hello. Is somebody talking? Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, please.
For recap, I think Paul has noted the following that we need to take into consideration. We need to make notes, look for new methods of teaching, have activities that are captivating to the student so that they get involved. We should plan, lesson plan, scheme of work. As we are now going for the new term, we must attend the first staff meeting. The bare reason is that that is when the work to be done, which class you are going to be assigned. Please, let's follow the timetable as he has put it. And there are issues that we need to take into consideration, social and professional issues that may come across. Please let us so I don't know whether there are someone with any addition so that we pick it up from there. We have some 5 minutes so that we may close. Thank you. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. I'm still waiting for the likes of Tugume Benson. He has always contributed.
There is a hand up for Madame Navilie. She has something.
Can she go ahead, please? Unmute and hello.
Hello? Can you
Yes,
hear
we are.
me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Mwijuka, for sharing.
You're
Uh,
welcome, Madam.
What I wanted to add on what you just, or to complement on what you have shared with us is on the issue of preparing schemes and also lesson planning. In your communication, you say that members are now laughing about lesson planning. And I think that is one big problem which is eating us, secondary teachers. Most of us have still remained in the other old days of the new curriculum where people would go and gamba around without planning. But for sure, in this new curriculum, if you don't plan well your lesson, you'll just be confused in the lesson. You will not move on because the activities which are set there, if you have not planned very well for them, then you may fail to move on with the lesson. So I urge you members to take up the new curriculum seriously, to lesson plan, and also to have a syllabus which they are following very well, so that we can make learning more enjoyable to the learners, and for what we are teaching to be perceived by the learners. Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
you,
madam. Yes, we still have some minutes before we can call it a day. Is there anyone who needs to say something?
Hello.
Yes, Superman Benson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Kisekedi and I'm from Nachivale Refugee Settlement. I'm a teacher. Yes, I would like to know if it's possible to share with us the presentation. If we can get the presentation, sharing it in the group.
Yes, maybe that will be handled tomorrow. Always we share on YouTube, so keep following.
And also, um, so the school that I'm teaching on is in a refugee camp. It's just a small school that is starting to have like three 3 years now. Uh, I would like to know uh, if it can be well that I can get also to be updated on this new curriculum. It may be very good for us also.
Yes, Paul, is there any answer for that?
Majorly, educating about new curriculum.
Yeah.
New curriculum entails so much, and which can't be shared and excessively explained in the few remaining minutes. But what I can highlight is that the new curriculum, the teaching methods have really changed. The way we assess has really changed. The subjects have changed. What we used to teach in the old curriculum has really changed. There is a lot really. So I could encourage the person who asked to really maybe get our contacts and get some better and more time of engagement about the new curriculum, because really there is a lot which cannot be exhausted in the few remaining minutes. But otherwise, things have changed and drastically.
So thank you so much. I think our time is up. Let's take this time, the few minutes. Probably I pray and we close. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we thank you for this time that we have been for this prophet development, preparing ourselves to go for another challenge of the year. May you be our guidance as we go through everything that comes in our way. May you always be at our side and give us the strength, the resilience to face every challenges professionally, so that we prepare and go back and help our students. We thank you. We believe in you. In Jesus' name, I pray. Thank you for everybody who have attended. I think it is encouraging. Next time we continue engaging ourselves. I want to also welcome the new members who have just joined today. Please continue joining. Our links are always shared whenever and every Thursdays. We are in the same, for the same and different topics will be discussed. I thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, and a good time.